This is just what happened at the caramel factory.
Ow, my hair!
Caramel.
So long, Stampy. I know you're gonna like it here. No, Stampy, no! Oh, thanks, boy. Whoa, boy! Attaboy, Stampy! But it once for me!
Gosh, I thought he'd be happier in his true habitat.
Oh, I think he is.
Then why is he attacking all those other elephants?
Well, animals are a lot like people, Mrs. Simpson. Some of them act badly because they've had a hard life or have been mistreated. But, like people, some of them are just jerks. Stop that, Mr. Simpson.
It's official. It's looking like a green Christmas, and not just this year. Why some experts say the holidays of our childhood are gone for good. It's meant to get you in the mood. But for some, there's nothing festive about holiday music, at least not after 8 straight hours.
After about the first month and a half, you get kind of annoyed.
And in some parts of Canada, it's the stuff of Christmas legend.
Oh, I think it's great.
But where did the holiday classic really begin? The battle for Christmas credit.
Global National with Tara Nelson. Substituting tonight, Randene Neill.
Hello, and thank you for joining us. If you're among the millions of Canadians dreaming of a white Christmas this year, you'll have to keep on dreaming. In most of Canada's major cities, it looks more like spring this year than winter. Cities in the prairies, the only ones with snow on the ground. It's not uncommon to see grass in Vancouver or Halifax at this time of year, but when that's also the case in Calgary, Toronto, and Montreal, it's time to take a closer look at what's going on. Here's Mike Drolet.
As little Jessica pushes her stroller along Toronto's boardwalk, she knows Santa isn't far away. Just like every other little kid who longs for Christmas, she's counting on jolly old St. Nick. What's Santa bringing you?
Presents.
Do you think he's going to bring snow?
Yeah.
Oh, to disappoint the little girl.
Here's the forecast map for Canada for Christmas Day, and wow, look at all the sunshine we have across the country.
The reality of today's Canadian winter is far different than it used to be. You'd expect this kayaking shot to come from Vancouver. Instead, it's sunny Toronto. People in the park? That's Calgary. And what about cyclists in front of this idyllic duck pond?
Merry Christmas.
Where else but Dartmouth, Nova Scotia?
When you crunch the numbers over the last decade, absolutely, more areas are seeing a green Christmas in the last 10 years versus the 60s and 70s, and that's probably due to climate change.
The numbers don't lie. In Toronto 20 years ago, there was a 60% chance of snow on Christmas Day.
I remember quite a bit of snow as a kid.
Nowadays, there's only a 30% chance, and it's similar in major cities across the country. What used to be good odds are now long shots. Blue skies and mild temperatures notwithstanding, Canada is still a country of snow and ice. In fact, 80% of the country will be covered in snow on Christmas Day. Only 20% of the population will see it, since the majority of us live along the U.S. border. To see snow on December 25th, most of us will have to get used to the idea of traveling, either to the mountains or the north. because clearly there are some Christmas traditions we can count on.
What's coming tonight?
Santa Claus.
Santa Claus, yeah.
Others, namely snow, we can't. In Toronto, this is Global National's Mike Drolet reporting.
While there's no snow in Vancouver, there is plenty of wind again. Another strong windstorm sweeping through the city today. A number of trees getting blown over, including one that crashed through the kitchen window in the home of a woman doing some holiday baking. BC has been hit by nearly a dozen severe storms over the past month, including one last week that devastated the city's majestic Stanley Park. Miriam Bedard's 12-year-old daughter will be spending Christmas with her biological father. He flew from Quebec to Washington last night to meet her. Bedard, on the other hand, will be spending Christmas behind bars. The former Canadian Olympic hero is being held in Maryland after authorities there arrested her for allegedly abducting her daughter. An extradition hearing for Bedard will be held Boxing Day. This holiday season in Europe, particularly Britain, police and security agencies are on high alert after it's been revealed Islamic militants with possible links to Al-Qaeda are plotting a terrorist attack. British press reports claim the high-speed rail tunnel linking southern England with northern France is the main target of the alleged plotters. With more, here's Global National's Tracy Wright.
It's a quick 20-minute ride through the Channel Tunnel connecting Britain and France. But the record number of holiday passengers may find the trip a little nerve-wracking. French and American security agencies have warned the tunnel is under threat of an attack in the next week by Islamic militants, possibly homegrown terrorists. French intelligence says from conversations it's been monitoring, the level of militant chatter is the highest since 2001.
Holidays are a particularly vulnerable time because you've got a lot of people concentrated in places, shopping, travel. It's also very emotional. And any attack during that time would be devastating.
Since last week, a number of security checks have been made on the 50-kilometer underwater tunnel. A 1996 fire that caused $500 million in damages showed how vulnerable it can be.
There's very little room for the blast to go. It would probably kill a lot of people, but it would also damage the tunnel. There's the risk you could rupture the tunnel.
Analysts say terrorists know airport security has been beefed up. So they're looking for other lucrative targets in Europe and here at home. Like the many busy and hard-to-secure border crossings between Canada and the U.S., or tunnels that link New York and New Jersey, which a recent report found have security weaknesses.
They know it's very, very difficult to secure public transportation. You can't install airline-type security for every international border crossing, for every tunnel. It's just too hard to do.
So that leaves intelligence services around the world sharing every bit of information, just in case. In Washington, this is Global National's Tracy Wright reporting.
A new twist tonight in the case of the radiation poisoning death of a former Russian spy. The man Alexander Litvinenko met with at a London sushi bar the day he fell ill has been arrested by Italian police. Mario Scaramello was picked up in Naples today. Prosecutors accuse him of being involved in arms trafficking and violating state secrets. Scotland Yard says the arrest is not related to the death of the former KGB agent.
Let me ask you first.
As expected, Iran's president has rejected the United Nations sanctions levied against Tehran this weekend over its rogue nuclear program. The West fears is for weapons development. Mahmoud Ahmadinejad threatened the 15 members of the Security Council today, vowing they will regret yesterday's decision. Iran says it will continue with its atomic program, even installing several thousand centrifuges at a uranium enrichment plant. Spanish newspapers reporting today a leading surgeon from Madrid has flown to Havana to treat ailing Cuban leader Fidel Castro. The 80-year-old was apparently seen by the specialist Thursday. The doctor reportedly examined Castro in person before deciding if he should undergo more surgery. Castro's true medical condition remains a closely guarded state secret. Ethiopia's prime minister tonight acknowledging for the first time that his country has been forced to enter a war with neighboring Somalia. Jet fighters and troops have been attacking border positions inside Somalia for several days now. Ethiopia says it's acting to defend itself against Islamic Courts Union, which is Somalia's illegitimate militia government. The union controls much of Somalia's central and southern regions, including the capital, Mogadishu. It's been fighting the country's interim government that has Ethiopian military and UN backing for months now. The U.S. has accused the Islamic Courts Union of having ties to Al-Qaeda. Canadian troops fighting in the war against the Taliban getting some special holiday visitors today. Canada's top soldier, General Rick Hillier, spending Christmas in Afghanistan, accompanied by some popular Canadian entertainers, including Rick Mercer and Mary Walsh. The visit coming just days after NATO launched a new major offensive against the Taliban.
Merry Christmas, Dad. How you doing? Good, good. Yourself? Not too bad.
Santa Claus also finding time to pay a quick visit to Canadian troops on the outskirts of Kandahar just hours before the start of his big night. His bright red suit a sharp contrast to the military's fatigues, but the troops loaning Santa a flak jacket to wear underneath. In Vatican City tonight, Pope Benedict XVI appearing before thousands of Catholic faithful in St. Peter's Square for the blessing of the Vatican's nativity scene. The pontiff lit a candle from his window above the square, continuing the tradition started by his predecessor. John Paul II asked the nativity be erected beneath his window during the Christmas season back in 1982. And a brief respite in the Middle East today to allow Christians to celebrate their faith in the city of Jesus' birth. Thousands gathered in Bethlehem's Manger Square, where earlier Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas wished Christians a Merry Christmas, one day after his surprise meeting with Israel's Prime Minister. Here's Global National's Martin Himmel.
A traditional procession from Jerusalem to neighboring Bethlehem marks the beginning of Christmas Eve. Thousands gathered in Manger Square as the Latin patriarch made his way to the 1,600-year-old Church of Nativity. What's traditionally believed to be the site of where Mary gave birth to Jesus 2,006 years ago. But the number of pilgrims and tourists are still far fewer from quieter years.
For a change, there's a festive atmosphere in Bethlehem. It gives hope for better times. But the Christmas message of peace is a long way from reality here. There's been a lot more fighting and a lot less effort for reconciliation and understanding.
The Christmas spirit received a bit of a boost yesterday from the first summit meeting in nearly 2 years between enemy leaders, Israel's Prime Minister Olmert and Palestinian President Abbas. Both sides called the meeting a good start. So for a few hours, people here are forgetting conflict and celebrating Christmas.
We are defying all these obstacles and we are celebrating Christmas so that we'll put joy into the faces of our children, joy to the citizens of Bethlehem.
But those in Bethlehem know peace for next Christmas depends on much more progress towards peace in this new year. In Bethlehem, this is Global National's Martin Himmel reporting.
A cold reception for visitors at Europe's newest ice hotel, leading our coverage next. Which country hopes to revive tourism by telling its guests to chill? Also ahead.
They could sing the Grinch song to him.
A thief may have stolen Christmas donations, but he couldn't steal the Christmas spirit. We'll explain after a break.
A 2-hour Deal or No Deal.
A holiday Christmas special. You can tell by the hat.
Have you been naughty or have you been nice? Howie's been watching.
The biggest gift of all.
The 2-hour holiday special of Deal or No Deal. Tomorrow at 9 on Global.
Despite your best intentions, you can never completely eliminate secondhand smoke from your home. Toxic elements linger in the air your family breathes and cling to items they use every day, putting them at risk. Protect your children. Make your home smoke-free. For your free information guide, call us or visit gosmokefree.ca. A message from the Government of Canada.
Janet? Hey. Hey. It's been a long time. Yeah, a long time. You ready for Christmas? All done? Me too. Do you have time for Pappy? Oh, I'd love to. This is a great little thing.
now and get a $75 gift.
The taste lives in the new KFC Holiday Family Feast. Original recipe, seasoned chicken, salads, festive cranberry stuffing, and a create-a-treat cookie kit. KFC.
The taste lives here.
An annual cold weather tradition is open for business. An ice hotel is open for the holidays in Romania. While this hotel is the only one of its kind in Eastern Europe, it's very similar to ones in Sweden and Quebec, where all the furniture and accessories are made entirely from ice. The hotels are open all winter but melt away by April. Last-minute shoppers across the country were scrambling to buy those last few gifts today. In Nova Scotia, it's something they couldn't do before. Malls in that province weren't allowed to open their doors on Sundays until now. Our Ross Lord caught up with some shoppers taking advantage of today.
Now, if you have any problems, you have 60 days for your return policy.
Like St. Nick himself, these people only show up once a year. Last-minute Christmas shoppers, asking store staff for help, making a phone call for advice, or just wandering and wondering what to buy.
No, this is not where I'd like to be today, but this is where you have to be when this is the first opportunity you've had to get out.
It's kind of what can I get real quick, you know, but try and keep in mind with what I'm out for.
Last minute shopping, that's all it is. Just been working hard all week, and that's the only time I got, so try to enjoy Sunday to do it.
Is this the way it is every year for you?
Yep, my last minute guy, yep.
And hey, it's not only the guys.
I know, and I used to work retail 3 years before in the past, so I was always like, oh, these guys are going to be in here, and now it's me, so.
In Nova Scotia, it's getting easier to play catch-up. Last-minute shopping on a Christmas Eve Sunday was impossible here until this year, when a court ruling forced the province to lift a ban on Sunday store openings. And by all accounts, shoppers are happy to take advantage.
Maybe because of Sunday shopping. You know, it's the first time they want to get out there and support it, maybe.
It's going to help. It's going to help for sure.
It might also help Maritimers maintain their status as the region in Canada that spends the most per capita at Christmas time, and allow this not-so-rare breed of shopper to procrastinate just one more day. In Dartmouth, Nova Scotia, this is Global National's Ross Lord reporting.
Christmas is definitely the season for giving, but for an unscrupulous few, it's also the season for taking. Case in point, a thief who walked in on an Ottawa charity Christmas concert and walked away with the proceeds. Ben O'Hara Byrne with why even that evil deed wasn't enough to snuff out the spirit of the season.
Rebecca Gray had one big wish this Christmas. She hoped to raise money for the kids' hospital that treated her broken left wrist, allowing her to play the violin again. The plan, a charity concert. The outcome, well, she had that all figured out.
I just imagine passing on this big check to Gio and just being really happy because we worked so hard for it.
After months of practice, the concert at a local church was a success, raising nearly $1,000. But as the kids played on, a thief walked in and walked off with most of the proceeds, $700 in all.
I was kind of shocked because, I mean, who would do that? To just take money from kids who are raising money?
Now, no one keeps track of just how common these kinds of thefts are in this country. Still, people who work with big charities say they believe it's extremely rare, that the holiday season really is about millions of Canadians giving and almost none taking away. Still, they say there is a lesson to be learned here.
In this kind of story reminds everybody in the charitable sector as well that we can't let our guard down.
Even the organization whose mark in trade is holiday fundraising has learned that lesson the hard way. A former Salvation Army accountant was charged earlier this year with embezzling more than $2 million from the charity. Back in Ottawa, though, something to rekindle that Christmas spirit. Donors have replaced the missing $700 and added a few hundred more.
A little after the fact, but it sort of puts the icing on the cake of a fantastic concert.
Rebecca Gray insists, though, she won't let the thief ruin all her hard work, but she is learning a new tune for her repertoire.
You're a Grinch. I could sing the Grinch song to him.
It's a special tribute for a stranger who took her good deed and big heart and slithered off with the proceeds. In Ottawa, this is Global National's Ben O'Hara Byrne reporting.
Still ahead. ahead, you may think all that holiday music is festive, but would you still feel that way if you had to hear it all day, every day?
I've heard every Christmas song right now, and I'd be lying to you if I said I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. It's terrible.
Good afternoon. The holiday weekend has turned tragic in one city neighborhood as Edmonton has recorded its 36th murder of the year. It happened early this morning. That's straight ahead at 6 on the evening news.
The Apprentice, LA casting.
Dude, I could totally dig being a CEO. I bet it pays sick money.
The Donald Goes Hollywood, The Apprentice LA, Sunday starting January 7th on Global.
I hear you guys have a boardroom. What kind of boards do you have?
I had this crazy dream, and I'm pretty sure it has something to do with my Christmas gift. So I'm at this snowy, high-tech, high-fashion mechanical wonderland. And I don't remember all the details, but there were some really friendly people in red hats, and they had some shiny items that I thought would make a great Christmas gift for me. They kept saying, ho, 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 Merry Christmas. Ho, ho, ho,
Merry Christmas. Heritage Harley-Davidson Buell for the best wishes at Christmas.
So people buying gifts for me should really know about my dream.
Thanks for dinner, Mom.
You're welcome.
Oh, you're the best mom ever.
Okay. Well, thanks. Jimmy, your mom's here.
Okay.
Okay.
Bye.
Maple Leaf Prime Chicken. There's a reason we call it Prime.
I'm back, miss me?
No, thanks to Nicorette.
Nicorette, with its taste, you'll be needing this.
Actually, Nicorette's changed. It tastes great.
Great! Give me that. Suddenly I don't feel so good.
Nicorette, help crush your craving.
Nice poker face. You're thinking about me again, aren't you?
No, I've got Nicorette.
Nicorette, yeah, I bet you gag.
You'd lose that bet. Nicorette's changed. It tastes great.
Great? I fold.
Nicorette, help crush your craving.
This Christmas, share a world of color with family and friends. Brought to you by Bunches.
It's coming. The Brick's famous 50% off Boxing Day blowout. This 32-inch HD LCD flat panel television, just $698. Save $700 on this Maytag front-load Neptune laundry pair. Only $988. Doors open at 7 a.m.
It's the thing about Christmas the Grinch liked the least. All the Who's down in Whoville, they'd sing, 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 sing. But as Global National's Mike Edgell tells us, turns out the Grinch isn't the only one who gets wonderful, awful ideas when he hears Christmas carols.
Beneath the buzz of commerce gone wild and the echo of empty wallets, a soundtrack, the Christmas music loop. If you work in the mall, you're forced to endure the same holiday jingles 8 hours a day.
I'm joyous, but it gets old. It gets old, really old after third hour, not 8th.
In some stores for 2 months straight.
After about the first month and a half, you get kind of annoyed.
It's a long, long day every day.
That's 344 hours, not including overtime.
I've heard every Christmas song right now, and I'd be lying to you if I said I'm having a lot of fun with it right now. It's terrible.
Some staff are openly rebelling against their employers.
We're supposed to have Christmas music on, yes, but we don't. And we hope the radio on.
Why not?
Just replay one after another, same songs, and it kind of gets annoying.
I don't mind as long as it's new renditions of older songs or brand new Christmas songs in general. Like
well, we met a guy who would disagree with you.
No?
Yeah?
Yeah? How so?
You can't stand the remakes.
Just recently, the remake of Walking in a Winter Wonderland. It just
And that's your favorite song, too, right?
It is my favorite song.
So you're saying don't mess with the classics.
Don't mess with the classics.
Of course, the music is for the shoppers. So they feel good and buy more.
I definitely think it puts you in the mood. As for the retailers, I think it's just something they're going to have to put up with, because deal with it. It's a sacrifice you got to make.
I think Christmas music is great.
Love it or let it drive you crazy. Before you know it, things will be back to normal. With that same old loop of music, hip-hop, and rock and roll. Silent night, never an option at the mall. In Winnipeg, this is Global National's Mike Edgell reporting.
We are tracking Santa for you. We'll show you where he is as he winds his way around the world as Global National continues.
Good afternoon. This has been a tragic Christmas Eve for one City family as Edmonton police investigate our city's 36th murder of the year. We'll have the latest on the investigation. Plus, it was the final day of shopping before Christmas. We'll find out how hectic it was at the malls. And the Shaw Conference Center is all decked out for something special. We'll explain what's going on. Stay tuned for the evening news right after Global National.
The true power and beauty of plasma is often hidden, unable to be captured. Hitachi original technologies unleash the most lifelike color and detail in plasma. Introducing the world's highest resolution 42-inch plasma HD TV, only from Hitachi.
A path to a great career is never easy. I entered the Applied Psychology program at Concordia because it's the only undergrad program like this anywhere. Concordia has integrated theoretical courses with training that undergrads normally don't get at this level. We're taught by practicing professionals in a hands-on environment. We apply our skills in a series of placements with mental health service providers, and I'll qualify to be licensed as a psych assistant when I graduate. This is the best prep I can get for grad school. Concordia really is the best choice.
It's important to have a lifelong relationship with your dentist. No matter how old you are, regular checkups can help prevent gum disease, root cavities, infections, and oral cancer. Go ahead, plan your visit today. It could be the start of something beautiful.
Closed captioning brought to you by the Wetaskiwin Auto Dealers. For over 50 years, no matter where you go or where you've been. Always have, always will.
Bigger and better than ever. This is TV's most electrifying hour of entertainment.
Entertainment Tonight and Entertainment Tonight Canada, the most watched entertainment news program in the world.
Some people call it the first music video, a burning log backed by a soundtrack of Christmas carols. Seems silly, but as Global National's Jazz Joe Hall tells us, it's a holiday tradition that's helped warm the hearts, if not the toes, of Canadians for 2 decades.
In a crowded television universe, channels are always trying to grab your attention with heavy promotion, splashy graphics, and excitable announcers. But during Christmas, there's one channel that has none of that, yet seems to attract a lot of interest. The Christmas fireplace video has now become a holiday tradition. Shaw Cable first began the trend in 1986 in Edmonton. Soon after, it was followed by others. In 1990, a cable company in the Vancouver suburb of Delta first let their video Yule log.
And we're looking for something to put on in that period between, say, Christmas Eve and Boxing Day. And so what could we do? Like an aquarium, a fish tank, little fish? No, it's not Christmassy. Fireplace.
It was an immediate hit. In an age where very few new homes have wood-burning fireplaces, the crackling blaze reminded many of Christmas during their youth.
Actually, when we didn't have a fireplace, it was nice in place of the fireplace.
Oh, really? So you watched it?
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
He put it on because I always said I wanted a fireplace.
Well, I quite often turn it on if I'm just working around the house and turn it on, watch the fire. It makes it more comfortable.
A lot of apartments don't have fireplaces.
Yeah.
So my friend's mom recorded it one year.
It's become such a success that many cable firms in Canada are running it before Christmas Day. Delta Cable, for one, runs the fire drama for a whole month.
I think the current fire is about a 6-minute loop, 6.5-minute loop. But other years we've shot the entire fire. So we have a story arc of the fire growing, building, and then dwindling down again, and then it flares up.
And like any good TV show, it's eventually released on DVD. Seriously, we're not kidding. Google Fireplace Video and you'll find plenty of places to purchase your own home collection.
This is the DVD for you. Ambient Fire, the ultimate video fireplace.
20 years ago, nobody expected this network time filler to become a Christmas tradition. Staying toasty warm in Vancouver, this is Global National's Jazz Johal reporting.
That is Global National for this Christmas Eve. Before we go, however, we have some breaking news from NORAD, the North American Aerospace Defense Headquarters. Beginning in the Canadian Arctic, NORAD satellites picked up a large sleigh. NORAD has now confirmed to Global National it is indeed Santa aboard. After leaving the North Pole, he was spotted earlier tonight on the other side of the world, first in Australia, then he was tracked over China. And we're getting word that it won't be long now before he's back here in Canada. We'll leave you with that tonight. From everyone here at Global National, have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you back here tomorrow.
Tonight on the Evening News.
Christmas Eve murder.
It's a residence we've been to before for disturbances.
Edmonton police investigate the city's 36th murder of the year. Last-minute rush. Today was the final full day of shopping before Christmas.